kick. Look at the wind helping. It's sidewinding. Into the run. Oh, my goodness.
It's on the option, an opportunity for the goal. He's done it. An incredible touchdown run with 47 seconds to go.
And the give is touchdown. Championship.
Good evening and welcome once again to our continuing coverage of the IHSA State Football Championships. I'm Jim Blaney. Coming up, we'll be bringing you the finale of today's 4 state title games. It's the 4A Football Championship featuring a clash between Morris High and Belvidere. Morris enters the game with a 12-1 mark, and Belvidere, they're not much worse. They're 11-2 as they come into the game. For more on these two teams, let's check in with Tom Stocker and Bill Gorley.
All right, Jim, thank you very much. Here in our battle for the 4A state championship, two teams that are no stranger to this kind of pressure. The Morris Redskins, 12-1 against the Bucks of Belvidere. They are 11-2. Welcome back to Hancock Stadium, everybody. I'm Tom Stocker along with Bill Gorley. Certainly these two teams with great tradition. We've already talked about that. And it's certainly no surprise that these two teams are in a title game, but it maybe is somewhat surprising to their coaches, Bill, that these particular two teams are here in the title game.
Well, Dan Darlington's Morris team was chosen number 1, but Quinn Schaefer never took a snap as a quarterback. He also had some other untested players. Then you take a look at the Belvidere Bucks, and they had a lot of players who were supposed to return, but didn't because of one reason or another, and then they lost their nose guard to the wrestling season. So certainly untested both teams, but certainly veteran teams.
Over the last 12 years, the quarterbacks for Morris have received scholarships at either the Division I AA or 1A level. So you can see why there was a very big question mark at the start of this season when the mighty Quinn Schaefer was going to be their starting quarterback and had never taken a varsity snap.
Well, this is a team that probably isn't as talented as some Morris teams. However, they are overachievers. They've done extremely well. Quinn Schaefer has certainly reached the expectations of the coach in terms of other quarterbacks that he's had. And then you have a diversified attack. You have Chris Zierman, who's a good running back, and then you have John Overton, the favorite receiver for Quinn Schaefer.
Only 2 starters returned from that 5A title game for Belvidere a year ago. It was on this turf that they took the 5A title with an 11-0 record in a 7-0 win over Bolingbrook. These were the last few seconds as they clinched the 5A title just over a year ago on the same turf. But one of those 2 returners is Aaron Latino, their leading rusher. He's come into the game with over 1,100 yards.
And they come in with a triple option, a true triple option, Tom. A lot of people talk about that, but you have a real diversified attack. You have a quarterback, Rob Reel, who has carried the ball 163 times. You have a tailback who's carried the ball in Aaron Latino 175 times. And then, of course, your fullback, which is the big part of the triple option, where he's carried the ball 240. That's a pretty even distribution, so you can't key on any one player.
So Morris's balance is really more pass and run. Belvidere's balance is really distributing it among all the people in the backfield.
Absolutely.
All right, so those are the two teams battling for the 5A title. Let's go now to public address announcer Steve Adams to meet the starters in tonight's title game.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the starting lineups for tonight's Class 4A State Championship game featuring the Redskins of Morris High School and the Bucks of Belvidere High School. First, introducing the starting defensive lineup for Morris. But before that, introducing the head coach of Morris High School, Dan Darlington. At left end, number 45, Wes Shannon. At left tackle, number 63, Josh Stapleton. At right tackle, number 72, Scott Gonzalez. At right end, number 67, Danny Darlington. At nose guard, number 53, Rob Detman. At linebacker, number 4, Craig Olson. At linebacker, number 50, Mark Clemens. At cornerback, number 47, Jason Rodagero. At cornerback, number 2, John Overton. At safety, number 44, Kane Connor. And at safety, number 30, Brian Claypool. Those are the Redskins of Morris High School. And now, introducing the starting offensive lineup for the Belvidere Bucks. First, introducing the head coach, Vern Pottinger. At left end, number 87, Chuck Leonard. At left tackle, number 69, Matt Schultz. At left guard, number 76, Craig Evans. At center, number 57, Brad Love. At right guard, number 75, Mark Winkles. At right tackle, number 72, Rusty Hackman. At right end, number 25, Corey Janish. At quarterback, number 19, Rob Reel. At halfback, number 32, Ryan Morris. At halfback, number 34, Aaron Latino. And at fullback, number 35, Jim Creighton. Those are the Bucks of Belvidere High School.
So there are the starters for tonight's 4A title game, and working the sidelines once again for us today. Let's go down to Joe Passion.
All right, Tom Stocker, again down here for this Friday night. Unlike recent years on Friday nights for a championship game, weather's very mild. Temperatures in the lower to mid 40s. A very calm wind, and what's even better about it all, two great teams that have been here before in the championship game. Let's take a look at how they got here this year. The visiting Redskins of Coach Dan Darlington. His ball clubs have won championships here in the past. This year they had to get by a Kankakee senior team that really gave them a battle in the final going. McNamara, of course, also of Kankakee, and then a very big battle in the semifinal against Thornton Fractional South. Now, for Belvidere and their Bucks, their road to the finals also found some interesting battles. Richwoods was a tough battle, according to Coach Pottinger. Then Metamora, Sterling, a very difficult game, he says, and the Springfield Griffin, certainly their biggest battle in that one. The officials here today have been here twice in the past, and in the middle is Chuck Esposito, the longtime referee. In fact, this group, Cup, Bushler, Grillett, and Anderson, have a total of 164 years of refereeing experience on the high school level. So let's take it out back upstairs for the kickoff of this ball game, guys.
All right, in for the kick is OCL Rivera, and a bouncer taken by Brian Kelly at the 20. And he is up to the 30-yard line, maybe the 32-yard line. And that's where Belvidere will start the drive, a return of 12 yards. Belvidere runs out of the wishbone. We take a look at the quarterback, Rob Reel, only 5'11", 156 pounds. And the rest of the backfield for Belvidere includes the running backs of Latino and Morris, fullback Jim Creighton, with the receivers Leonard and Janish. Janish is the split end. And the line that goes from 230, their highest, down to 165 at center. Charles Rodberg. They run on the wishbone. They run a no-huddle offense. They like to get as many as 60 plays in a game. As Real hands up on the first running play to the 35-yard line on the initial carry. As we'll take a look now at the Morris defense, as Morris will run a 5-2 defense. There is the interior of the front line with Detman the nose, Stapleton and Gonzalez the tackle, Shannon and Darlington the end. That's the nephew of the coach. There are the linebackers and the four men in the safeties.
There's the true triple option look, giving it to the fullback to just test out the Morris defense just to see how they're going to begin to play the triple option.
And that's Scott Gonzalez, the tackle, who makes the stop, and you see why. He's one of the emotional leaders of this Morris defense. Let's watch the handoff again from Rob Reel.
And they're just taking a look, trying to see how they're going to play the fullback. Who's going to tackle the fullback? Then who comes out and takes the pitch? Who takes the quarterback?
Real keeping it on the outside, has the first down. He's across midfield. He may go all the way. If he can get another block and saving the touchdown, the cornerback, Jason Rodegaro.
And Rodegaro was aided by one of the Belvidere Bucks. One of their own players actually bumped in to Rob Real. Here, we get a chance to look at it, Tom. Real steps outside. You've got the option man. He keeps the ball, and he just heads right down the sideline. Now you'll see Rodegaro come in here to try and make the play, and his own player runs into him and knocks him down.
A gain of 41 yards on the running play. And again, another running play as going up the middle, the fullback Jim Creighton, a 6'1", 209-pound senior who actually was their leading ball carrier in total carries with 240. There you see Rob Real's rushing yards this year, averaging nearly 4 yards a carry out of the quarterback position with 12 touchdowns.
With this no huddle, you've got to really hustle and button up your chin strap and be ready.
Real on the keep. Brought down from behind by a linebacker for the Morris Redskins, Seth Tesdall.
One of the things you have to watch for, Belvidere likes to run out of an unbalanced line, and of course, Morris has got to be able to adjust to it. Without a no huddle, they've got to come out and recognize that real quick, Tom.
It is third down and about a yard to go with the ball at the 15-yard line. Tell you what, they're running the plays off so fast the scoreboard can't keep up with them. Fumble, and it looks like it may have been recovered by Scott Gonzalez. Gonzalez is in there, but there's also one buck at the bottom of the pile, Ryan Morris.
I think Ryan Morris has it, Tom. It would appear that way.
A fumble on the exchange, and when a player from each team has possession, that goes to the team that had possession previously.
Not a real good handoff. It looked like it was in the chest, and then it slipped off. And Morris, of course, was quick to receive the fumble that he did not receive on the exchange from the quarterback, Rob Real.
So the ball back at the 16 where it's fourth down. The quick hitter up the middle to Aaron Latino. He is close to the first down. It is very, very close.
It's going to look like where the placement's going to be is really going to be important right here. They're calling for a timeout. Officials timeout. Chuck Esposito. You know, Tom, Chuck Esposito used to do some of my games, and I hate to tell you how long ago that was.
Was that back before face masks?
Yes, it might have been leather helmets too.
The officials measuring for the timeout about the only thing that has slowed down this Belvidere no-huddle offense. Again, they've averaged nearly 61 plays a game. They figured they get another quarter's worth of plays in each game. It is a first down for the Bucks.
Well, a lot of people think it's a gimmick, but with them, they're reading the option, so they don't have to make a call. It's just they're going to run the option, and who gets the ball, whether it's the fullback, quarterback, or the pitch, that depends on what the defense gives them.
So it's 1st and 10 from the 13. Keeping it is Real. Brought down from behind at the 10-yard line.
Now the mesh is really important here with the fullback. And of course the free safety for Morris is coming up, and he's very close to the line of scrimmage, obviously to aid in the run support on the option.
Rob Detman in on the tackle, their second leading tackler on the year for Morris. It'll bring up 2nd and 7 from the 10-yard line. And jumping out early was the right guard, Mark Wrinkles. One of the, in fact, the only returning starter in the offensive line. One of 2 returning starters offensively along with Latino. Now, coming into this year with the success that Belvidere had last year, a lot of guys, you see him coming out of the 3-point
movement there.
That one's easy to call. But there were a lot of guys that got a lot of action in last year because some of the lopsided wins for Belvidere, but some didn't come back. Some of them because of either athletic or academic code violations. Real on the reverse pivot. Doesn't have much room at all to the 13-yard line as he was stopped by Seth Tesdall once again. Big number 59.
They broke their wishbone there, and they went to a double wing and then used motion to come back. And of course, with a double wing, you get a double team at one end, or your wing back can go back and block down on the linebacker, which cuts off the pursuit.
3rd and 10 from the 13-yard line. Quick pass by Reel. Touchdown, Chuck Leonard.
Now that's the point. The free safety was up so tight, he was at linebacker depth, and he read that. This is not a football team that throws the ball but they like to throw that post cut anytime they see the free safety coming up at linebacker depth. That's why I mentioned it before, Tom, because you have to watch for that with the option.
But a penalty marker is down. A penalty marker is down at the line of scrimmage. And it looks like it's going to come back.
Illegal motion by the offense. 5-yard penalty, still third down.
Very costly 5-yard penalty that cost them a touchdown.
This was really executed the way you really play the option. They have the motion, fake to the fullback. It looks like it's going to be in, and then he reads the free safety, and there's the post pattern. And Kane Connor.
The free safety, that was his responsibility.
Absolutely.
3rd and 15 from the 18. Whistles blow at the snap of the ball. As may have been some early motion there. That's Matt Schultz there, number 69, the left tackle. As you see, Rob Reel, again 5'11", only 156 pounds.
Dead ball foul. False start by the offense. 5-yard penalty, third down.
Suddenly, Belvidere marching the wrong way. Back-to-back 5-yard penalties. It'll be 3rd and 20.
You know, a lot of people have made a lot of facts about that Morris is so big that they outweigh their opponent both offensively and defensively 30 to 40 pounds. I don't think that really affects the Belvidere because of the way they run their offense.
As they would say, what else is new? It's something they were used to. Quick hitter up the middle, Latino. Just a couple of yards to the 23. As once again, Seth Tesdahl, who has been the mainstay inside at linebacker, has been in there on most of the stops for the Morris Redskins.
Now this is another move by Belvidere. They came into this game saying that they had to keep the ball away from the diversified offensive attack of the Morris Redskins. And of course, right now, you're seeing the kind of drives that have won them a lot of football games.
Be 4th down at about 18 yards to go. And early motion perhaps there. Suddenly,
Lineman.
The Bucks very mistake prone. This would be the 4th penalty against the Bucks. It looks like it's another 5-yarder.
Dead ball foul. False start by the offense. 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
Of course, this field position set up by the 41-yard keeper by Reel, and suddenly, as soon as they get in the shadow of the goalpost, suddenly the offensive lineman getting very jittery, as you see Belvidere chalked up with its 4th penalty already of this football game.
One of the reasons that's happening is because before the snap, Morris is faking blitzes. They're moving their linemen around, and that really causes a lot of problems for your offensive linemen.
So Reel off the play action, throwing for the corners. He has a man open and down. Catch a touchdown, Aaron Latino. Oh, what a diving catch. Oh, and he stretched himself out.
Tom, that, my friend, was an outstanding catch. You talk about somebody laying themselves out for a touchdown. What a tremendous catch.
27 yards for Aaron Latino, his 3rd touchdown reception of the year. Here's a guy that has averaged 25 yards of reception, so he's been an all-purpose performer out of the backfield for the Bucks. This will be Rafael Avila trying to tack on the point after. He's 11 for 14 on the year and make it 12 out of 15 as Belvidere draws first blood with 6:48 to go in the first quarter. It's Belvidere leading in the battle for the 4A title, 7-0.
Are deep for Morris.
So Belvidere, despite 4 penalties on this drive, a great 27-yard touchdown reception. And watch it again, Aaron Latino.
Well, that was a throwback, Tom. It was a fake to the fullback. The split end runs to the post to take the safety. Latino goes up the sideline and then, of course, makes a tremendous catch, lays himself out for 6 points.
He was all by himself. Penalty marker thrown on a bouncing kick taken by an up man at the 20, and they stop the play just as it gets underway. That's when you're all by yourself and you just say, let me get to the ball, and he did all he could and then some.
Well, that's a typical series setup. Before we talked about how the Bucks threw to the split end on a slant. Well, they came in with the slant again, took the free safety away, and then ran Latino, who was now at the wingback spot, and ran him right up the sideline.
Illegal procedure against Morris.
Restraining line for the receivers at the 5-yard penalty. We re-kick.
So Belvidere will kick it from their 45. And so Steve Matzel, number 44, will kick with Chris Zierman and Kane Connor back deep for the Redskins. 7-0 Belvidere. Just about halfway through the first quarter here in the 4A championship game. So Matzel again will approach the football. And again a bouncer. This one may go out of bounds. And that is not the right thing to do there, because now Morris will most likely take the ball at the 35-yard line.
Tom, as you know, I'm not really big on statistics, but Aaron Latino, number 34, the halfback, he's only had 3 catches all season for 74 yards. But of those 3, 2 have been for touchdowns. And of course, there you saw a great play to bring the Bucks up 6-0.
You pick up 5 yards on the penalty, you kick it from your 45, and then you kick it out of bounds. It means the opposition can elect, if they want to take it to the 35, and I'm sure that's what Morris will do. As Quinn Schaefer will set him up. Let's take a look at the backs and the receivers for the Morris Redskins, who come into this game 12-1. Quinn Schaefer. His first year at quarterback. Chris Zierman has been a hoss of a running back, over 1,600 yards for a school record. John Overton will line up sometimes as a tight end, although he's not truly a tight end. Dave Sanchez, the fullback. The receivers, Weirs and Olsen. Weirs more of a flanker. The linemen, a line that averages 233 pounds. Marty Kolozinski, the emotional leader for the offensive line, and the center, Chris Brown.
Well, you mentioned the size there, Tom. This is just a huge offensive line. You have all the interior linemen, 225, 233, 225, 240, and 241. That's just a huge offensive line. The question, I think, tonight is, can a quick, small defensive team that plays defense very tough, Belvidere Bucks, offset that size?
They work out of a staggered pro set on this 1st and 10 from the 35. The toss goes back to Chris Zierman, and he's got blocking, and he's got running room, and he's all the way up near the 40-yard line before the free safety, Justin Ferry, knocks him out of bounds after a big gain of 29 yards.
But as he knocked one of the defenders off, it looks like he may have hurt his knee, Tom. That could really be a blow. Here we see Zierman, and Zierman really turns it on right here. He leads his block, it goes right up the sideline, takes a shot, and you couldn't see it, but it looked like a knee went into his thigh or the lower part of his knee.
That was Yul Berg, the weak side quarterback, who had that big tackle from behind in the 7-0 win over Bolingbrook in the 5A title game last year. But it's 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line. Again, a 29-yard gain for Zierman. Zierman, check that. This is a long pass downfield. Juggling and dropping it inside the 10-yard line is John Overton.
And John Overton hasn't dropped too many passes all season. He makes a catch in double coverage. Here's a halfback pass. Stops, throws the ball. And of course, it's pretty high, and you've got double coverage right there. And actually, who was that? Oh, Yul Berg comes in right at the last minute and knocks the ball away from John Overton.
So it'll be 2nd down and 10 from the 43-yard line. Overton's the man in motion as Quinn Schaefer drops back to throw, throwing it out to the near side and overthrowing Overton, who had single coverage with Steve Matzel, the strong safety, on him at the 30-yard line. Let's see the rest of the Belvidere defenses. They will run a 5-2 defense. In the front, you'll see Akers, Perez, Horkheimer, and Paulson. While the linebackers, Kirshner, Barr, Wiebe, and the secondary, Matzel, Berg, Vila, and Ferry.
As we have already seen, Quinn Schaefer has brought the Morris Redskins up to the line of scrimmage in 5 different formations. Morris has come in here with a diversified attack. We've mentioned Zierman from the tailback. There's the numbers on Quinn Schaefer. And of course, Quinn Schaefer, when Zierman has been stopped, has really stepped up and been able to make a lot of big plays. But you're seeing a lot of different formations, and they set up their whole offense with being able to spread people out and use the formations to their advantage.
One of the main reasons why Schaefer got involved with football, he felt it was a good way to keep his good left arm warm for the baseball season. working as kind of a backup quarterback, throwing to the third and fourth receivers, warm them up on the sidelines. They decided to give him a shot. Boy, he's passed for over 2,000 yards. The lefty throws and underthrows Joe Zweer's deflector, who found a seam in the secondary at the 32-yard line.
Well, along with his ability to be able to throw the ball and be a baseball player, he's not bad in the classroom either, Tom. He's got a 31 ACT, and as I understand it, just recently visited Yale, and would certainly fit into a program there if he could play football for Carmen Koza, a longtime friend.
Eric Peterson, who's averaged 31 yards a punt, getting it away. Taken by Aaron Latino. Coming to the near side, trying to turn the corner, dragged down by Jason Rodagero. And Belvidere leading 7-0. Will have it for the second time. A punt of 37 yards. Latino's return, good for 11.
But what we have to check on is Chris Zierman to see if he's well enough to be able to play and to be able to carry on the offense that is so necessary to give them that diversified attack for the Morris Redskins.
So once again on the no huddle, the wishbone attack of the Bucks of Belvidere, 1st and 10 at the 32. Out of the full wishbone backfield, the fullback, Jim Creighton, just churns up the middle and gets to the 36-yard line for a gain of 4.
What we want to take a look at here, Tom, is to see if Morris's defense is still moving around like they did inside the 20. Trying to confuse blocking schemes, faking the blitz. And the nose man occasionally will come on and off the line of scrimmage to cause him a confusion and, of course, give him a different look, give him an even look as well as an odd.
Real having trouble on the play fake, had to yank the ball away from the fullback. He keeps it and is up to the 40-yard line. He had that. Now a penalty marker was thrown away from the football as Mark Wrinkle's alignment for Belvidere got tied up with the defender for Morris away from the action, totally the other side of the field, and that's where the penalty marker was thrown. It's going to be holding. Holding against Belvidere, and that'll negate that. Did you see how deep Real had that ball into the gut of the fullback, Creighton?
Right, and it was at least 5 yards deep. We'll get a chance to look at it right here. There, he's going to pull it out. It's almost like a delay, and talk about making something out of nothing. Rob Real really had the presence of mind to be able to turn it up, and he has pretty good speed, Tom. He surprised me a little bit being able to get outside the corner there.
Very intelligent young man, Rob Real, good quarterback. He's been main reason why this Belvidere team is in the title game, though in a different class for the second time in as many years. So it'll be second down back at the 30-yard line, 2nd and 12. Real looks like he may be wanting to change the play as he sends Latino in motion. Handoff up the middle, churning up there, Jim Creighton, who played as a defensive tackle last year. Big, strong kid, not quite as quick, perhaps maybe as some of the previous Belvidere fullbacks, but he is a workhorse.
Well, he's 6'1", 209. He sure is a nice guy to be able to hand the ball off and take the load. He's had 240 rushing attempts. He doesn't have all those broad. One thing he does do, he knows how to run the ball straight ahead.
3rd and 5 from the 37. Morris showing blitz. Real has nobody to pitch it to, and he's collared at the 38, 39-yard line for a gain of only 2 and well short of the first down. Gonzalez in there on the stop. Scott Gonzalez, defensive tackle, helped corral Rob Real.
We'll get a chance to look at the replay right here. He pulled the ball out, and of course, he may have had the pitch, and Gonzalez comes in there, steps up, and makes the play. And as we're watching right here after that series of downs, Belvidere definitely reads the option. The quarterback has the choice of whether to give, keep, or pitch.
You see Latino's punting statistics on the year, nearly 33 yards a game, 35 punts this year. Overton and Connor are back deep for Morris. Latino gets it away, angling it towards the far side, and it's taken out of bounds just outside the 30-yard line by John Overton. A punt of 32 yards, right about his average. But a penalty marker thrown on the play, and it's an indication against Morris.
Now the question is it an automatic first down, Tom?
Even if it's only a 5-yard penalty, I think it's enough to give him the first down. Because it was 4th and 4. They're coming for the block, and he clearly had it away a long time before Craig Olson came in and knocked him head over heels.
Well, that's something Morris sure doesn't want to see. They felt like they've stopped him. confused Belvidere's option attack, and of course then you go in and block the punt.
But now take a look at where they're spotting the football. They're moving it all the way back to the 17-yard line.
Let's hear what Chuck has to say.
I'd like to hear this explanation.
Yes, so would I.
I think they moved the football the wrong way. He says, yeah, give me the football. Yeah, they had it spotted the wrong way. They ran it, they put it 15 yards the other way.
Against Belvidere.
And it's going to be 15 yards and an automatic first down the other way. And the drive will stay alive.
Roughing the kicker, number 4, on the defense, first down.
So they move the ball to the
Were we out of bounds?
Morris side of the 50-yard line.
Got my beanbag? That's fine.
You got to have the beanbag. Make sure Esposito gets his beanbag. You can't.
Get that beanbag. You don't have that, you can't start.
7-yard line.
4:02 left to go, first quarter. 1st and 10 from the 48 of Morris, out of the full wishbone backfield. Again, they give it the fullback. Still on his feet is Jim Creighton as he drives up the middle to about the 42-yard line. Picked up about 6 yards on the play.
He's stacked up at the 42.
So a costly mistake for the Redskins when it looked like they were going to get the football. Instead now, suddenly Belvidere with a 7-0 lead, marching once again.
One of the things that Morris is trying to do against this option is trying to take and pinch the tackles down where they can take the fullback away.
Latino on the quick handoff, but he is hemmed in and swarmed over at the 42-yard line by a host of Redskins. Getting off the bottom of the pile, the nose tackle Rob Detman, who is a tremendous defensive player in the words of Coach Dan Darlington. And he's all over the field, and he was in the right spot right there.
Well, he's one of the reasons they've got to have some success defensively. He's got to get some great penetration, and he's got to be able to move around. He's almost like a linebacker. Nose guards tend to be that little bit like that, a little bit more ornery, and probably don't have quite as good lateral movement.
3rd and 4 from the 41. Real gives to Creighton. He is close to the first down. Now, one thing, even watching as a fan with this no-huddle offense, you lose a sense of perspective. You don't really get quite that timing, and that's one thing, of course, they're counting on, disrupting the timing of your defenses, of the defense as well.
Well, we saw it earlier when they ran that little post pattern. You're trying to get lulled to sleep because you're looking for that fullback all the time. It looks like it's not very fancy, but Morris is pinching their tackles down. The offensive guard is going after the linebacker to seal it off so that that fullback can step up inside, and then, of course, that opens up all the rest of the option offense to the outside where the quarterback can keep the ball or where he can pitch.
You see, it's about a foot or so short of the first down. So Belvidere, 32-3 over the last 3 years. Vern Pottinger's team has lost just 15 games in the last 9 years, and only 6 of those came in the regular season. Tremendous program.
The interesting thing is that they were the 6th seed in their bracket to come in here, so they were a total surprise, Tom.
4th and a couple of feet. The fullback Creighton has the first down and a couple of yards to spare as he gets to the 35, and a fresh set of downs coming up for the Bucks. Late here in the first quarter, 7-0 as Belvidere scored on their first possession despite 4 penalties against them on a 27-yard pass from Real to Latino.
One of the other things you have to watch for is when they're lulling people to sleep is that unbalanced line. Now they've been going with a straight line right here, but the defense has to read that real quick.
Aaron Latino in the bottom of that pile. And on the stop, John Overton, the cornerback for the Morris Redskins. Also, as well, you'll see there Rob Real. Less than 2 minutes now, late in the first quarter.
Second down and 5 to go.
What a better defense could you have than keeping the ball away from Morris by running it the way Belvidere is doing right now, Tom.
And they keep up this pace with this no-huddle offense. They may get those 60 offensive snaps.
Well, and then you'll really run down a big football team. Those big guys get tired of running after people all the time.
Second down, Real brought down at the 31-yard line. A gain of only a yard as Rob Detman once again, number 53, their second leading tackler with 97 stops this year, making the tackle. The 88 Belvidere team
Gain of about 1.
that finished second set 3 national records, including most plays in a season. Those are national records, not just Illinois records. 3rd and 5. And Real stumbles and goes down for a loss on the play, and it'll be 4th down coming up.
That was a bad snap in exchange with the center. So rather than try and pick it up, Real just fell on it, recovered the ball, and went from there. See, it was not a very good snap. The exchange was not good.
He alertly falls on the football. Don't try to pick it up, just fall on it. It'll be 4th and 7.
How many times do you see somebody pick it up and then it's Fumbalooski? Everybody's trying to get the ball.
They break the bone. Heading a wing back, quick pass, Latino to the 26-yard line, and it's going to be very close. I think second, maybe third effort got the first down for Latino as he went down with a big struggle.
You know what? He's a really determined young guy. I mean, that wasn't an easy ball to catch because it was a short distance, and Real really fired it in there, and yet he made that catch, and he didn't have control of it, and he finally did after 4 people hit him. He brought it into his chest, was able to get the possible first down, and they did get the first down.
Latino, the man in motion. Creighton, the fullback, up to the 20-yard line before he is driven back by John Mackinson. Second string on the defensive line, also in there on the stop, the linebacker Craig Olson, number 4. You see their leading tackler this year with 142 stops and a 40-yard fumble recovery for a touchdown in the regular season against Batavia. As the clock runs out, the first quarter is over, and after 1 quarter, the Bucks of Belvidere leading it 7-0 over Morris in the battle for the 4A state championship. Second quarter coming up in the 4A state championship from Hancock Stadium on the campus of Illinois State University. This drive that began at the 32 of Belvidere, extended by that roughing the kicker penalty, has now taken over 6 minutes. Another running play. Jim Creighton gets the call to the 16-yard line. Creighton has been the workhorse in this attack so far this evening. Again, he has more carries than Latino does. Latino has more yardage.
But it's extremely well balanced because you have Latino with 175. There's the total yardage difference. But Latino has 175. The quarterback has 163. And you expect your fullback because every time you start a series, you give it to your fullback.
3rd and 2 from the 17. Real takes the ball out of the gut of Creighton, and he is dropped for a loss. On the play, Wes Shannon, the defensive end, a 6'2", 198-pound senior, who set a school record for tackles for loss, chalks up another one there. That's his 23rd.
And there's Real. And he really didn't want to look to pitch that ball. It was a regular keeper on his part.
So the ball spotted at the 18-yard line. It is 4th down, and about 3 yards to go. They'll go out of the full wishbone. Real with plenty of time on the play clock. Drops back to throw. Completes it to Latino for a first down to the 5-yard line before he's shoved out of bounds on the near side by Brian Claypool, the safety.
That is one young man that's really inspired.
Boy, Morris continues to bite on that play-action fake, and they're giving up big passing yards in critical situations there on a 4th down.
Latino makes a great spin move to be able to stay in bounds and pick up a few more yards, but they're biting on that fullback. They're concentrating on the option.
First and goal, Latino drives close to the goal line, but not in.
That's one of the reasons, Tom, that passing off the option is so successful, because you're lulling people to sleep. They don't expect you to throw the football.
Again, this drive began back at the Belvidere 32, extended by that roughing the kicker penalty. And now Belvidere looking to have their second touchdown on the scoreboard here early in the second quarter. From the 1, Creighton, touchdown Belvidere.
This is one inspired football team. Every one of those people in their backfield has a lot of spring in their legs. They're taking extra people down. They're getting the extra yard. This game is really an inspiration for those young guys. I think they like the idea that they're the underdogs, Tom.
Creighton gets his 8th touchdown of the year. The score coming with just about 2 minutes gone here in the second quarter. And now Rafael Avila will try to add the point after out of the hold of Rob Reel. 14-0 Belvidere with 10:05 left to go in the first half here at Hancock Stadium. Let's go back and take a look at the touchdown run by Creighton.
Now he takes that, and he actually picked up his foot. He was losing his balance so that he could get that ball over the line to be able to get the touchdown. There's a good view of Creighton. He's going down, but up and over the pile.
How costly was that roughing the kicker call?
Well, certainly enough for a score.
Well, not only that, but now we're 2 minutes into the second quarter, and Morris is about to touch the football for the second time in this football game.
And of course, again, you were talking about a smart quarterback. During that little play, moving down inside the 10-yard line, you saw a quarterback audible to a play-action pass to Latino. He gets an extra few yards on a nice little spin move. Creighton goes in and scores the touchdown.
There you see 68 yards in 19 plays, and look at the time of possession, 8 minutes and 6 seconds.
Well, Morris has only had the ball on one possession, and they can't do much if they don't have the football, Tom. I mean, that's an old saying.
We've played just about 14 minutes of football. The time of possession so far for Belvidere, 13 minutes and 18 seconds.
Would you say that was their game plan?
That's out of 13:55. Can you draw possession football any better than that?
Absolutely not. And size has meant absolutely nothing. Big may not be better.
The kick by Steve Matzel, and it sails out of bounds at about the 13-yard line. And so once again, Morris will likely take the football at the 35-yard line as they kicked it away from Kane Counter. The Redskins find themselves in a deep hole, down 2 scores. And they're just going to touch the football for the second time in this football game. And so Quinn Schaefer knows that even though there's a lot of football left in this game tonight, this drive right here might be the biggest of the whole night.
And Chris Zierman is back in there. We don't know what his injury was, but he is back in the lineup.
So Schaefer, who threw for 286 yards in the semifinal win over Thornton Fractional South, doesn't like what he saw from the Belvidere defense, and he burns a timeout here before even snapping the football. We'll take a break as well. 10:05 to go in the second quarter, and Belvidere right now in the driver's seat. Not only do these two schools have great football traditions on the field, they've got great following in the stands on the sidelines. Both communities great in supporting their teams, and we've got a great crowd here tonight making lots of noise here at Hancock Stadium. They only had 10 men on the field. That's why they called for the timeout. As the pitch goes to Chris Zierman. Tries to turn the corner, brought down by the linebacker Ron Barr, the key to the Belvidere defense. In the words of Coach Vern Pottinger, he was their leading tackler, 120 stops this year.
And just recently chosen All-State by the Sun-Times. And last year, Tom, he set a record in the 5A championship with 19 tackles.
Second and 9 for Morris from the 36-yard line. They send Olson, the lone wideout, and they go with a full house backfield. You'll see a whole different lot of looks from Morris. They send Overton in motion. They throw it over the middle. It is caught by Jeff Hunt, a second-string flanker, and he's up to the 42-yard line. Cornerback Rafael Avila, 5'5" and all of 127 pounds, makes the tackle.
With the score 14-0, one of the big questions that if you're a Morris Redskin fan was, are they going to be patient, or are they going to try and make up all of it at one time? Do you just move the ball down methodically to keep the ball away from the Belvidere Bucks offense? I certainly would choose the latter, but we'll see if they do that.
Third down, 3 yards to go. Redskins at their own 42. In motion, Chuck Pruitt. Oh, hit in the backfield is Zierman as he is stuck by Barr, who nails him for a loss of a yard. Let's go down on the sidelines and Joe Passion.
You've noticed Ron Barr's great play out there. Last year he had a cast on that left hand and wrist of his. He's got it back again this year. He played the whole year last year with that cast because he had broken his arm. Didn't want to have surgery, wanted to play basketball. Well, prior to their game against Boylan this year, Barr re-broke that arm in the same place. Put the cast back on, went right back out, and kept playing football like he's been playing throughout his high school career. Unfortunately, will not be able to play basketball. He will have to have surgery after the football season.
Latino calls for the fair catch on Eric Peterson's punt. The punt 24 yards, and Belvidere has it back. Morris has just one first down in this ball game. That time it's 3 plays and out.
And how many possessions, Tom? Only 2, and have not been able to move the football at all, even though they've formationed Belvidere Bucks to death.
1st and 10 from the 36 of the Bucks. Janish is the lone wideout, and early motion. Looked like that was the right guard, Wrinkles, once again, number 75. And again, a returning starter, considered the leader of the offensive line.
Well, and again, of course, here we'll get the call from Chuck Esposito.
False start by the offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
But what's happening is Morris is moving up front. They're moving their nose man around, and it's causing the offensive linemen to be confused, and they're moving before the snap count.
So far, 31 plays in the game for Belvidere, 9 for Morris. Up the middle, Ryan Morris. Taking it through the gut of the Morris defense. Up to the 37, 38-yard line. Ryan Morris, a 5'10 senior. Didn't let her last year, and suddenly he's a starter this year. Just worked his tail off to be a starter, in the words of Coach Vern Pottinger.
Gain of 6, second down. And
To gain of 6, it'll be second down. 9 yards to go. The pitch to Latino. Can he get outside? Oh, great lateral pursuit by the Morris defense. Forced out of bounds by Craig Olson and Mark Clevens, the 2 linebackers.
That's one of the reasons why you have to watch, and you'll see it on the replay. It looks like he gave the ball to the fullback, then pitches the ball back, and they pick up a few yards. And that's the true triple option. And he reads it all away. He watches how the defensive end plays as to whether he should keep the ball, watches the tackle, whether he should give the ball to the fullback.
Up the 41. A quick pass by Real over the middle, and it's caught by the tight end, Chuck Leonard, at the 46-yard line. That should be, checks that now. You take a look at the markers across the way. They almost have to get to the 48-yard line for the first down. Looks like he caught that right at the 47. Chuck Leonard, who made the catch there, self-made in the weight room in the offseason. Their leading receiver with 23 catches. They're short. It's going to be 4th down. They're going to measure anyways, but it looks like they're at least a couple of feet, if not a full yard short.
You know, Tom, Rob Reel has really impressed me. He really has some real presence out there. He really knows the offense. First down.
Oh, yeah. There goes my career working the chain gang, huh? Had it by the nose of the football. I was just looking from where they had it spotted across the way of the chains. Oh, well.
1st and 10 at the 47-yard
Description.
line.
Yeah, we might have to change that a little bit. We're a little far away now.
I think we can make an aquarium out of these glasses. Rob Reel keeping it hauled down from behind as he tried to turn the corner. Gets it up to the 50-yard line. There's a late penalty marker thrown. Craig Olson on the stop as he yanked him down from behind, but after the play was over, the laundry went flying.
Preliminary call would look like it might be against Belvidere.
Belvidere with a 14-0 lead. With a first quarter touchdown and one early here in the second quarter. Belvidere, who played 3 playoff-bound teams in the regular season, Rockton, Hananaga, Rockford, Boylan.
We have a dead ball foul, late hit by the offense, 15-yard penalty, second down.
How many times do you see a late hit by the offense?
Maybe we can get a chance to take a look at this.
Right there.
Yep, right there, late after the ball had been stopped. And unfortunately, one of the officials was able to pick it up right away.
It was Claypool for Morris who got knocked off the plate. It might have been there. Chuck Leonard, 87. It was tough to see as Vern Pottinger, the head coach, heading out as we apparently have a timeout on the field. 6 minutes and 58 seconds remaining. This is the 4A state championship game with Belvidere leading Morris by the score of 14-0. Tom Stocker, Bill Gorley with you. We'll crown 2 more state champions tomorrow in 5A. It'll be Palatine against New Lenox Providence. One of those teams will replace Belvidere as the 5A state champion. And then Bill and I will have Homewood, Flossmoor, and Naperville North later on the second game tomorrow. Sports Channel is your home for college basketball. Tomorrow live at 7 p.m. It's the Panthers of Eastern Illinois against the Blue Demons of DePaul. Then Monday live at 7 o'clock, the Ramblers of Loyola against the Wildcats of Northwestern. And then Tuesday, Indiana and Notre Dame. Big battle from the Hoosier State, all coming your way. Great basketball all season long coming your way on Sports Channel. 14-0. Again, Morris has run just 9 offensive plays. This will be 2nd and 22 at the 35-yard line. Latino picking his way over the 40 and not wrapped up until he gets to the 44-yard line.
Morris they don't seem to be able to get into a defensive rhythm. And on the replay, you'll see they're moving all over the place, and they can't figure out who has the ball and what their responsibilities. Now, going into this football game, Morris had not seen a true option football team, and it's pretty difficult to get ready for a team like this in 1 week.
It'll be 3rd down and about 13 yards to go as penalty markers fly. That play stopped just as it got started. Somebody apparently across in the neutral zone. In contrast to some of our earlier games.
Dead ball 5. Dead ball foul. False start by the offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
So it'll be 3rd and 18 now for the Bucks. This game has been marred by many penalties.
Well, I think you've got 2 football teams that are very uptight, both coming in here with great records, past traditions, and you know, you get a little upset when you see people moving around and your offensive line, you can't sit down. They just have to sit down and sit still and do what they have to do.
Reel on the keeper after the fake of the fullback, and he is driven back once he gets to the 40-yard line. Rodegaro in there on the stop along with Overton.
Keeper play by the quarterback number 19, Rob Reed.
And it'll be 4th down coming up for Belvidere, and they'll pump the football away.
4th down for Belvidere.
And this game is not something they have done very often.
So Latino will punt for the 2nd time. Overton and Connor are twin safeties back at their 25 for Morris.
Latino averages about 32 yards a kick, Tom, and as long as being 44 yards.
That's Connor to the 50. And hauled down from behind near the 40-yard line. On the tackle for Belvidere was Travis Akers, but a great return for Connor as we go down to the sidelines in Joe Bassett.
At the outset of this game, we talked about the officiating crew, 164 years combined service. This crew actually called in on late notice. They are replacing the crew from Northwestern Illinois that was well publicized for the harassment they got from fans after a game with Stockton. One of those officials wanting to commit suicide. We will talk more in depth about that incident and the pressure on officials later on tomorrow during our telecast. Back upstairs, fellas.
Breaking away is Schaefer, but he finally goes down, and then a penalty marker thrown as he sacked back at the 48-yard line. Travis Akers, Brian Horkheimer, both back there. Boy, he broke away once and looked like he was going to be able to roll around and maybe get free, but finally he just ran out of time. The ball may have come loose, but they're going to spot it down at the 50-yard line.
2nd down.
Well, it was wise of Quinn Schaefer to tuck that ball in, Tom. You don't, when you're down 14-0, you certainly don't want to be able to throw it up for grabs. Get an opportunity to see Quinn Schaefer gets a good 7-stop, back 7 yards, rolls back out. Really doesn't have time to see where he can throw the football because he's attacked by quite a few folks.
Perez finally on the tackle. He broke away from Paulson. There's a leaping catch by Joe Swears at the 40-yard line, back to the original line of scrimmage. Ron Barr on the tackle for the Bucks of Belvidere. So it'll bring up 3rd down and 10 for the Morris Redskins.
There's the replay, and it's a flood pattern. And of course, he's a left-handed thrower trying to be able to get the ball in there. And you know, are they going to run the football? Or are they going to try and make it all up with the pass? And right now, it looks like they're trying to do it with the pass, Tom.
They face a 3rd and 10. as they send Swears the lone wideout.
This is the best field position they've had all evening.
Quinn Schaefer sends Overton in motion. Schaefer drops back. The left-hander throws wide open. Catch made at the 25-yard line. Zier down inside the 20 before Justin Ferry with the tackle, but a big down for the Morris Redskins.
And Quinn Schaefer, first he went to the left, and now they came back to the right with the same play. Now he's a left-handed thrower, and he is able to throw it right into the seam, throws the ball real well, and they get the first down.
21 yards on the reception by Joe Swears, who is considered a possession receiver, and a textbook example of it right there. He found the seam down there in the zone and was wide open to make the 21-yard reception. At the 19-yard line, the deepest penetration so far in this game for the Morris Redskins. Again, if you just joined us, it is 14-0 Belvidere, who had the football for nearly all but about a minute of the first 14 minutes of this football game. Morris getting only its second first down of the football game.
And right on that series with Swears making the catch.
Spread formation, 4 wideouts for the Redskins. Overton can hang on as he had position on the linebacker bar, but just looked like it caromed off the shoulder pad.
That certainly is not typical of John Overton. He's Quinn Schaefer's favorite receivers. He had 46 receptions for over 1,000 yards, and that's the second pass that he's dropped tonight.
In fact, earlier this season, Overton said that Quinn throws a nice spiral, very easy to catch. That one just got away from Overton. It is 2nd and 10 from the 19. You just sense, though, that Morris is still not meshed at all on all gears.
Right, they're looking, they're seeking. They got the grab bag going.
Schaefer completes it to the 12-yard line as it's caught by Swears, hit immediately by Yulberg, the 5'9" senior.
You'll be able to watch it right here. Quinn Schaefer comes back out. Looks like he's going to the right, goes to the left, which is, of course, the side he throws to, and Swears makes a nice catch.
It'll bring up a 3rd and 4, 6 yards in the passing play.
Gain of 6. 3rd down and 4.
Swears so far this year, nearly 12 yards a catch, looking for his first touchdown of the year via the airwaves. German in motion, the handoff goes to Dave Sanchez, the fullback, who gets to the 10-yard line. Right side linebacker Darren Wiebe, who has come on strong this year defensively for the Bucs, makes the stop. There he is, number 90.
In this drive, it would seem that they're getting their rhythm back. They're able to use some of their backs. They've been able to throw. You know, what they're doing now is they're using the passing game to set up their running game, and most people do it the opposite way, and there's numbers on fullback David Sanchez.
It'll be a 4th and 1 situation coming up for Morris. They're down by 14 points. They need this first down. They need a score on this drive. 10 penalties already in this game against Belvidere ties a Class 4A title game record. The all classes record in the game, penalties 14. Not only is Belvidere racking up the plays, they're already well ahead of their pace at 61 or so plays a game, but they've already picked up 10 penalties. They scored their first touchdown despite 4 penalties on that drive alone.
Well, that's certainly not a record you like to be proud of, but you have to give credit to Morris because they're moving around trying to cause confusion with their blocking schemes, and Belvidere is jumping off sides, and that's what a majority of those penalties were, Tom.
The defense for Belvidere this year in that semifinal game gave up just 1 touchdown in the whole game to that powerful Springfield Sacred Heart Griffin game, and that touchdown came after a turnover just to drive of 21 yards. So,
and that was a 14-6 game.
The defense has been the consistent part for Belvidere's ball club this year. It is 4th and 1 coming up for the Morris Redskins.
Extremely big play right here for Morris.
A minute 37 left to go in the first half here in the 4A title game. They have everybody in tight in a full house backfield.
Unbalanced line.
Zierman line of scrimmage. Ron Barr leveled Chris Zierman at the line of scrimmage, and I don't think they got the first down. The Bucs will take over on downs. What a hit by Ron Barr.
I think somebody better check and ask him if he knows his phone number. Watch this hit by Ron Barr. Whack! Hey. Oh, my. Right there. I'm not so sure he knows where he is.
Zierman has been roughed up in this football game. Oh, what just a solid stick. Notice how Barr stayed low.
And had his back the way you'd like. That's a classic hit.
So they take it over on downs. And the Bucks run it up the middle as Creighton gets the call.
Let's try and maybe we can hear that hit.
I think we can. See, they hear the sound of a big-time hit. Oh, you love that. That's football. 1 minute to go. That is football.
At its best.
Second down. Latino slanting to the left side, dives up to about the 15, picks up 4. As Belvidere probably just content to run off the clock. You don't want to do anything too crazy here. You want to be very conservative, not when you're leading by 14 in the shadow of your own goalpost.
Yeah, one of the biggest problems you have with an option offense, obviously, is the fumble, and you certainly don't want to do it in the shadows of your own goalpost.
This first half so far couldn't have gone any better according to script for Belvidere. You'd have told them coming into the game you'd have a 2-touchdown lead at halftime. They would have been very happy to accept it. Zierman, check that. That is Latino. I'm sorry, Latino cutting back.
Well, coming into this ball game, Vernon Pottinger said if it was a close ball game, it would be to the Buccaneers' benefit. He came out firing, and they were able to run the option and keep the ball away from Morris this whole first half.
And the clock runs out on the first half. The first half played almost to perfection in terms of possession, and their wishbone attack with no huddle by the Bucks of Belvidere. A touchdown in each of the first 2 quarters for Belvidere. As you see, they lead 14-0 here at the intermission of our 4A title game, our final game of the day, as championship weekend comes your way from Hancock Stadium. 6 state champions will be crowned by the time it's all over, with 2 more to be decided tomorrow here at Hancock. Now let's go down to the sidelines and our colleague Joe Passion.
All right, thanks very much, guys. Dan, close but no cigar in the first half. But you know they play 2 halves to a football team. What type of adjustments do you want to make? What comes to mind right now?
Well, I think we got to jack our offensive linemen up. They're not getting off the marks at all, so we got to go and have a little talk with them and get some blocking done there, or else we won't be able to do anything. Defensively, we made a couple mistakes, but we got them straightened out there, I think, in the second part of this second quarter. So, you know, they just run the ball and try to run the clock out. So we gotta get some points on the board and get back in the game.
Is there a key to your comeback philosophy as far as keeping the ball on the ground more, playing a certain type of defense to slowly crawl back into the game?
Well, yeah, you know, we're gonna throw the ball and do the things that we've done all year, and hopefully we can get one on the board and get them a little nervous, maybe. You know, if we can get back in the game. 2 touchdowns are sitting pretty good. If we get them down to 1 touchdown, then we'll see what they can do.
All right, Dan, thanks very much. Dan Darlington of Morris, and I think that last statement really put it to the best fold, guys. We'll try and score and then see what they can do. Back upstairs, fellas.
All right, Joe, thank you very much. At halftime of our 4A state championship battle, it's 14-0 Belvidere. Lots coming your way here during halftime. Stay with us as the best comes your way on Sports Channel.
Here at the break of the boys Class 4A football state championship game, the Belvidere Bucks with a 2-touchdown lead at halftime over the Morris Redskins. Both teams have been to this championship game before in their past history, and they're trying to add onto that historic moments in their past in football tradition. In fact, both schools will just have to keep adding to those trophy cases the way they keep rolling along year in and year out. Morris, of course, has finished runner-up twice in their past, has also won 2 championships, and Belvidere was here last year capturing the 5A state football championship. So, of course, a whole second half still to come, and we'll talk more about that as well. Let's take a look at the highlights of the 2 touchdowns that were scored here in the first half, and the Belvidere Bucks scored first at the 6:48 mark. This 28-yard touchdown pass to Aaron Latino, and a great option pulling the linebackers in. Latino in the back corner of the end zone finds his opening and gets to the ball, outstretching and making a great diving catch for the score. That made it 6-0 Bucks, and the extra point was good for a 7-0 score. Then in the second quarter, with 10:05 left, some big runs by Latino set up A big play by Creighton over the top from 1 yard out. That made it 13-0. And the extra point also was good, making it a 14-0 Belvidere Bucks lead here at the break. Of course, Belvidere not only leads in the scoring, they also lead in the penalties, but that hasn't held them back. But as you heard Coach Darlington talk about moments ago, their object is to get back into the game by getting something on the board and then seeing how the Bucks react to that. We also want to remind you, coming up here after the break, we'll be going back to the Sports Channel studios up in Oak Park near Chicago for the latest on all the other sports with Jim Blaney. In the meantime, it's 14-0 Belvidere here at the break over Morris. We'll be back with more in the second half after these breaks.
And welcome back to Hancock Stadium, where the second half's right around the corner in our 4A title game, as the Bucks of Belvidere lead Morris by the score of 14-0. Tom Stalker, Bill Gorley back with you. And Bill, a clinic in possession football put on by Belvidere in the first half.
Well, Belvidere had the ball 10 more minutes, and they score on their first drive. You can't ask for any more. Plus, Belvidere had 4 penalties, and they still came back and scored on a great catch by Aaron Latino.
That's right. Their first score, Aaron Latino, a 27-yard touchdown reception on a 4th down play, and a drive that was marred by 4 penalties, but they scored on their first drive. They led 7-0. Morris had the ball, then 4 plays and out. They had 1 first down, and then suddenly Belvidere comes back with a long drive, culminating in their second touchdown. Jim Creighton's 1-yard run, a drive sustained by a very costly roughing the kicker penalty against Morris on that punt that kept the drive going.
Well, about the only thing that's marred this game has been the number of penalties that both teams have had. And of course, I don't know that I look for that to happen in the second half. I think the big question, though, in the second half is Morris going to be patient enough to run the kind of offense that brought him here, or are they going to try and make it all up in one shot?
Let's take a look at the stats on the first half, and it's not surprising. A big edge for Belvidere, 8 first downs to 2. Look at that. Morris with only 53 total yards of offense, 176 for the Bucks, and there's that 10-minute differential in time of possession. Kind of looks like the Bear-Lions game of a little over a week ago. But Belvidere, obviously Morris can't score if they don't have the football.
Well, and of course, I'm sure that's the way Vern Podger came in and said, look, if we can run the football and run it away from them, they're not going to be able to do anything offensively.
All right, so that sets it up for our second half as the score, Belvidere leading by the score of 14-0 here at Hancock Stadium. The Sports Channel cameras look on from above Hancock Stadium as both teams return to the field for our second half. 14-0 Belvidere leads, and let's head down to the sidelines and our colleague Joe Passion.
All right, Coach Vern Pottinger, a 14-0 lead at a half of a championship game against a team like Morris. How safe is it?
It's not safe at all. We're thinking of it as more like 0-0 right now. See if we can put some more points on the board and keep them from scoring.
How much more conservative do you get, or do you just keep dancing with the lady who brought you?
Yeah, we got to keep going. We're not going to pull anything back right now because they're too explosive a ball club to do that.
Injury-wise, everybody okay in the second half?
Yeah, everybody's healthy.
All right, Vern, go get him. Have a great second half.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Laverne Pottinger. Last year won the Class 5A championship, trying to do the same with the 4A title this year. He has a 14-0 lead here at halftime of this game. Back upstairs to Tom and Bill.
Belvidere in the playoffs for the 10th consecutive year, 8th consecutive year for the Morris Redskins as we set the scene here at Hancock Stadium. Our 4th state champion to be crowned today will be determined after the second half of football already. Sterling Newman in 1A, winning over Lexington 27-0 in 2A. Rock Ridge over Georgetown Ridge Farm 36-12. And our 3A title game, Bloomington Central Catholic here on their home field, beating DeCoin 22-12. Stay tuned to Sports Channel as the IHSA Football Championships continue tomorrow live at noon. It's the 5A championship game. Palatine, the Pirates against the Celts of New Lenox Providence. That'll be coming your way at 12 noon, the 5A title game. And then that'll be with Mike Lederman and Mr. McInerney. And it'll be at 2:30. Bill and I will have Naperville North against Homewood Flossmoor in the battle for the 6A, the largest schools classification. And it's all coming your way here on Sports Channel.
Tom, just before the half, Morris started to have a little success passing the football, and really was just a little curl pattern. We were talking about earlier, you know, how is Morris going to be able to come back? And if they can pick up right here, and obviously Vern Pottinger alluded to that, is that they need to take a long look. And of course, there's a graphic that tells you how much Morris has outscored the opponents in the third quarter. So this will be a key, I think, for the football game for the 4A championship.
Well, remember, Morris won the toss, deferred their option to the start of this second half, and so they'll most likely have the football on this first drive. And if they can push it in, that means they're only one score down. That's why Vern Pottinger said, hey, we got to treat it like it's 0-0, because with an explosive team, the balance that Morris has got running and passing, 2-touchdown lead is not safe.
Well, early Zierman looked like he really had some real spring in his legs. Then he took a hit on his thigh. He appears to be okay now, and we'll see if they can get that kind of sprint back and be able to get some kind of offense going here, and at least get some kind of a rhythm where Quinn Schaefer doesn't feel like he has to pass every down.
That is Steve Matzel. Double check that. That's Kane Connor. There we go. Kane Connor, number 44, back there for Morris. And it'll be 44 Steve Matzel, who will be kicking it off for the Bucks of Belvidere.
Chris Zierman and 44 Kane Connor going deep for Morris.
14-0 Belvidere. They beat Bolingbrook 7-0 for the 5A title last year to cap off an undefeated season, a streak that went 15 wins before they suffered their first regular season loss this year. The lone Morris loss came to conference rival Manuka, who was a 4A playoff. In fact, Morris, the last 8 weeks, including tonight, have played playoff teams, either in the regular season or, of course, here in the playoffs. A bouncing kick taken by Zierman. Double check that. That is Kane Connor diving up to the 25. Ron Barr, Darren Wiebe combined on the tackle. So this very important Morris drive begins after a 10-yard return for Kane Connor. 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line.
To the 26-yard line. Make it the 25. 1st and 10.
Call it the 26 to start this drive, as Quinn Schaefer has rolled up some big numbers in a big game against Plainfield. In the regular season, he threw for 249 yards and 4 touchdowns. Against Oswego, a great program, he threw for 180 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Morris has to take time out. They don't have the right players in there, and Quinn Schaefer checked it out. That's the second time. Pardon? They're looking for a different football.
There we go. They got to get the right football. And each team, there is an official football, but each team has their own supply. And you know, the quarterbacks have their own preference. Some like a newer football, some like a more broken-in football.
And they also like different makes. So Quinn Schaefer, a sharp young man, noticed that right away.
Out of the shotgun. First time we've seen that tonight. Schaefer airing it out long, has a man open. Oh, broken up. Intended for Mike Olson. Justin Ferry came around and broke up the play. The Morris fans thought there might have been interference. Let's take a look. Was there?
Not too happy with the way this ball was. The defender, you know, it's hard to see if he came over his back or not, but obviously the fans weren't too happy about it. We'll get another look at it from this angle.
Maybe the end zone angle here will show. Yeah, he bumped him in the back for sure before the pass came in there.
He knocked the ball down with his left hand, but pushed him with the right.
A little push off down below with the right hand, and he got away with it. So it's 2nd and 10 at the 26. Schaefer rolling out, throwing, and a diving catch. John Overton. A big possession catch at the 40-yard line. The ball underthrown, but he came back and made a nice diving catch for 15 yards.
Ron Barr was all over Quinn Schaefer. He was chasing him. You get the opportunity there. You see Ron Barr right there. He actually came into a little seam to be able to try and attack Quinn Schaefer, and Schaefer ran away from it. And, of course, a nice catch by Overton.
So they're at the 40, where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Redskins. Sanchez is a man in motion out of the wingback position. And the protection breaks down. The ball knocked out of the quarterback's hand. It is picked up and advanced to the 43-yard line.
Mark Winkles advanced that ball, and he doesn't get very many chances. Or is that John Mackinson?
John Mackinson.
That doesn't have he doesn't have the opportunity to run the ball. And there's this. You get a chance to see John Mackinson pick up that fumble and run with the ball.
But very dangerous for a lineman to try to pick up that football and run with it.
Yeah, you got that true.
Oh, he actually kind of knocked it back out. Did you see that little slick move where he knocked it back out, advancing the football that way? Brings back memories of what Kenny Stabler and that Oakland playoff game of many years ago.
But they changed the rule.
And that's the reason why, because of that game. That's a 42-yard line. It is second down and 8 yards to go for Morris. It goes with a double wing set. And Overton's the man in motion. Schaefer. It's complete at the 50-yard line, and hit immediately is Joe Zweers. Berg, who can pack a wallop at 5'9", with the stop immediately, but not before they're close to the yardage needed for the first down.
Well, Vern Ponder said that his defensive backs are very aggressive, and I think that was a real good example. Yul Berg, you're seeing a picture of him right there. He just comes up and really makes a good hit. And you can't always knock the ball down, but you're certainly going to make a receiver pay for it, and he's going to think about the next time he goes to catch the ball.
Take a look at the play again, and it'll maybe bring back memories for Belvidere fans of when he made that big stop on Corey Day of Bolingbrook a year ago in the 7-0 win in the 5A title. Big hit there by Yul Berg, a 5'9" senior.
Well, Morris right now is starting to get a feel for their passing game, and they'll start using a little motion to force the secondary to rotate, and then they can come back with a slam.
Third and inches. Third down, inches to go. Keeping it is the quarterback, Quinn Schaefer, and he just follows his center, Chris Brown, for the first down. Ron Barr with the stop. Barr with a sensational game already tonight for the Bucks of Belvidere, but they'll move the chains. First down for Morris. That is only their fourth first down of the game, and half of those have come already in this drive.
Well, it looks like they've settled down and they've come up with a game plan that they feel comfortable with, and we'll see how it works out right here, Tom, because this is, as we mentioned before, this is going to be a big series.
That's right. If Morris has any hope to come back in this game, they need this drive. Picking his way through, Dave Sanchez does a great job finding room to run, getting to the 45-yard line. He picks up 4 yards as Rafael Avila, the cornerback, in on the stop, along with right tackle Brian Horkheimer, a 6'2" senior. It'll be second down and about 6 yards to go.
Looks like to me if Belvidere wants to stop this drive, Ron Barr has to come up with a big play.
Wideouts left and right, double wing, single setback formation. The multiple offense as Overton moves in motion. Schaefer rolling out, penalty marker thrown, the pass incomplete. Intended on the far sidelines at the 37-yard line for split end Mike Olson, who had a big 61-yard touchdown reception in the playoffs against Kankakee.
Well, Ron Barr certainly was bearing in on Quinn Schaefer, but he got picked off, and it was blocking below the waist, so there's Chuck Esposito giving that call.
Illegal block below the waist, and that'll send the drive marching backwards a little bit. It was 2nd and 6 on that play, but this will be a walk-up of 10 yards.
And that's not what you want to do.
We had an illegal block by the offense. It's a 15-yard penalty.
Illegal block is 15. It's holding that stand. They got to go 5 more yards.
Let's take a look and see if we can see it on the replay here, Tom. He rolls out, picks up Ron Barr. Ron Barr is picked up. Tough to see. The ball was low, and of course
it was not in that picture. We didn't see the penalty there. It was away from the football. So it's second down, 20 yards to go. As Schaefer back to air it out. Caught, hit immediately. The catch made by Zweers. Steve Matzel hit him hard. Looks like Zweers held on. Belvidere claiming perhaps there was a fumble on the hit, but no. Morris will keep the football.
Well, and Morris went into what I would call a strong formation, all the backs to one side, and then they just came around with a little curl to Zweers. And they're keeping it very simple. We'll get the chance to see right here.
Let's see if the ball came free. There's the catch. Solid stick by Matzel. And the ball, I think, was coming free out of Zierman's hands before he was on the turf.
Let's get a different angle.
Now that was Zweers, I'm sorry, 23, not 27.
Right. Zweers, boy, that's a tough one to call. I'm not sure about it, Tom.
Quinn Schaefer throwing deep down the sidelines off the hands of John Overton, who tried to come up with a leaping catch. If he hangs on, it would have been a first down at the 35-yard line, but instead it brings up fourth down for Morris.
All summer long, Quinn Schaefer threw to John Overton, and that's why they kind of have a feel for each other. But John Overton's having a tough game tonight. That's the third one that he's dropped.
Schaefer really made himself, though, as a passer, working in these passing carnivals and clinics during the summer, working 6 days a week. But this drive stalls. The big illegal block penalty helps to stall this drive, and it's punted away by Peterson. Fair catch called for by Latino at the 35-yard line. 8:25 to go in the third quarter. A punt of 23 yards. And down on the sidelines, Joe Passion.
You guys were talking earlier about the type of football that's being used and how that is also playing a factor in the role. Now, the official IHSA ball, all athletic balls throughout the year are by Wilson. There are two types of footballs that are used. The plastic football, many use for practice, but game day, both these two teams today are using the leather Wilson TD.
There's Creighton breaking free. Oh, a touchdown saving tackle at the 40-yard line by Kane Connor. A 25-yard gain on that quick hitter by Jim Creighton.
We'll see the replay right here. And the linebacker blitzed, and Creighton just ran right by him. And if he had a little more speed, he would have been gone, Tom. And of course, the big thing right here is the Bucks just want to take it, run the clock down, keep that ball away from Morrison's offense.
This time the middle stopped up on Creighton as he gets it to the 38-yard line for a gain of 2. Gonzalez, Scott Gonzalez, a senior defensive tackle, and on the stop, number 72. If Belvidere can punch one in here, boy, would they be in the catbird seat. We've got 7:47 left to go, third quarter. Creighton again, the workhorse, just twisting and driving and churning his way for 3 yards to the 35, just a typical fullback run.
Well, he's 6'1", 209, as you mentioned before, and he's a straight up and down runner, but he's got strong legs, and he keeps those legs going. For a defensive tackle, he's not a bad fullback.
It'll be 3rd and 5 at the Morris 35 for Belvidere. Real wants to throw through the hands of Chuck Leonard, who was wide open at the 25-yard line. Leonard releases quick off that line, and he finds himself a lot of room.
Well, he had the defense frozen. Morris was frozen. Here's the fake to the fullback. There's all the, you see the defense going one way, then they're coming back the other, and they were frozen. They could not react back to the ball.
Yeah, Seth Tesdall, the linebacker, bit on that fake, and he was out of position, going for the fake to the fullback. 4th and 5 for Belvidere. Real pitches it back to Latino. He turns the corner. He's got the first down as he's shoved out of bounds at the 28-yard line. He picks up 7.
You know, that young man right there, every time they needed a big play this evening, he has come up with it. Now you see the pitch. Real reads it perfectly, pitches the ball at the last minute. You see the block down inside, but he's able to get outside the corner, and he's made the big play every time he's been called on to do so.
1st and 10 from the Morris 28. Creighton, oh, this is Real keeping it. I bet on that thing. He keeps it around the right side, but it's strung out. He's brought down by Kane Connor, the safety.
Well, they showed a strong formation to the left, came back with motion. Lentino came back in motion, and then Real rides the fullback Creighton. He's looking for the pitch, kept the football.
It'll be 2nd and 9 from the Morris 27. Janish is the lone wideout for the Bucks, who break the bone in the backfield, a two-man backfield. Real hands it off to Creighton, and he drives down close to the 20-yard line.
Tom, let me set the scene here. We're running the football. You're starting to see the free safety. Morris's free safety is creeping up again, and I wouldn't be surprised right here if he could throw the slant pattern. because Real knows how to read it. He reads it, and the coach has confidence in his ability to do so.
And this is the down and distance, or especially the distance, where they've been really effective with the quick pass. 3rd and 3, but Real handing it to Creighton. And he has the first down as he gets to the 16-yard line, and another first down tacked down here for Belvidere, who continues to drive for what could be their 3rd touchdown of the night.
Jim Creighton, number 35, certainly looks like a tired young guy, but every time he gets that ball, he really bangs in there. And there's a good example of the first downs that we're seeing. Belvidere with 11 and Morris with 4 in the second half.
1st and 10 from the 17. That is Ryan Morris, the halfback, spinning to the 12-yard line. Morris, a 5'10 senior, had a 62-yard touchdown run against Sacred Heart Griffin in the semifinals last week to break open a 7-6 one-point Belvidere lead.
Interesting, they went the formation, they went unbalanced to the left and came back to the short side where they only had 2 people blocking.
Creighton now 17 carries, 80 yards. It's Aaron Latino on the call up the middle to about the 10-yard line. He'll pick up about 3, and it'll bring up a 3rd down situation for the Bucks. Now, the last team, I believe, to win consecutive titles in different levels was Mount Carmel. They won at 5A and 6A.
I'll give you that one.
Belvidere trying to go from 5A to 4A. Jim Creighton, straight ahead dive play for the fullback, and he drives and powers his way to the 5-yard line. And it'll be 1st and goal for the Bucks. What a night that young man has had. He has had a whale of a football game from the fullback spot.
It'll be interesting now when you're down inside the 5-yard line. Will you give it to the fullback here, or do you keep it? Obviously, you want to keep the pitch to the minimum down here because it's a high-risk offense.
Creighton and Latino in the backfield. This is Latino. Oh, hit hard, knocked off his feet by the nose tackle, Rob Detman. That is the 12th play of this drive.
You know, one of the biggest difficulties Morris probably had all week was trying to emulate this offense. There's no way that you can have a practice team do this and give you the real look that you're going to have to see when you come into a game like this.
Remember when everybody ran the wishbone?
Yes.
I mean everybody.
Well, that was the, it goes in cycles now.
Emery Ballard down at Texas A&M devising the wishbone. Actually was an assistant at Texas. There is Creighton. He's close to the goal line. Is he in? Yes. Touchdown Belvidere. Jim Creighton, his 2nd touchdown of the game.
And he actually carried about 3 people in when he went to score. He's a strong young man.
A 5-yard touchdown run for the 6'1 senior Jim Creighton. His 8th, check that, his 9th touchdown of the year on the ground.
Now, the nice thing about that is Creighton made the run, but the tackle blocked down. You had the guard come out, fold block, and Creighton just ran right up in that crease, and he carried a few people with him.
So Creighton adding a 5-yarder to his 1-yarder. The point after by Avila is no good. And so it is a 20-0 lead for the Bucks of Belvidere with 3:52 left to go in the 3rd quarter as our state championship coverage continues exclusively on Sports Channel. Tom Stalker, Bill Gorley. Let's take a look as Belvidere scores its 3rd touchdown of the night.
You saw a good example there where the tackle came down and the guard came around, and Creighton just went up right behind him and was able to score the touchdown.
So with just under 4 minutes remaining, Morris, the Redskins' backs are literally against the wall as the kick by Steve Matzel, a bouncing kick, in and out of the hands of an up man inside the 25 and to the 26-27 yard line on that return. Yul Berg on the stop. Looked like Chris Brown on the return for the Morris Redskins.
You know what happens a lot of times after a team scores, and like Belvidere has done here, where they've got a 20-0 lead, they relax a little bit on the kickoff, and sometimes you'll see a good return. I didn't see Belvidere relax. They're a very disciplined football team. Vern Pottinger's done a great job with these young people.
It has been basically all Belvidere so far tonight. Morris still has time, but they've got to make something click and click in a hurry. Schaefer's pass caught, leaping catch. Overton up to the 35-yard line. Ron Bard, who has been a busy left side linebacker for the Bucks, makes the stop.
Well, prior to the last touchdown that Belvidere scored, it looked like Morris was starting to get into a routine with their pass. There were little longer routes. They were developing a little better. The quarterback was throwing a little longer. Now with a 20-0, I think you're going to see them let it all out. They're going to try. They've got to get a touchdown within the next 2 series if they want to stay in this football game.
Double wings, 2 wideouts. Schaefer, pump fake, dumps it off on a screen. This is Dave Sanchez. And playing off the block well and making the stop, the drop side defensive end Travis Akers, along with who else? Ron Bard.
You can see right here that Morris's dauber is down a little bit. They don't have that spring in their legs, and you see Belvidere, they're starting to smell victory. They're going after people. They're really putting it to Morris the way Morris has done for years against other people. You just don't see that confidence level with Morris right now.
They needed 2 yards to get a first down, and I believe they will bring the chains all the way from across the way to measure and see whether or not they can give the Redskins another first down and keep this drive going with 3:03 left to go in the third quarter. It is a first down. Right now, Morris cannot afford to waste any opportunities, especially if Belvidere gets that ball back and turns up the clock like they have done.
Well, they turn that ball over again. Belvidere just run the clock out on him.
Morris says we'll worry about that later. We've got to get something on the board now. 20-0. Redskins down by 3 scores. Sanchez goes in motion. Schaefer back to throw. Airing it out long. Oh, nice grab by John Overton. A tumbling catch at the 45-yard line of Belvidere. A catch of 19 yards.
Now that's the kind of catch that we've seen John Overton do all season long. And here's a replay. Quinn Schaefer just hangs it up good enough. John Overton runs under it, stretches out a little bit, and makes the catch. Now, he's not made a couple catches before, but he's made up for it on that one.
Overton, the only two-way player for the Redskins. He also plays cornerback. Had 2 touchdowns through the air in the first round game against Westinghouse. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. Overton in motion out of the backfield. Over the middle, Schaefer has Jeff Hunt. And he's to the 36-yard line. Rafael Avila, Darren Wiebe, Justin Ferry also in there on the tackle. Clock running, though, and that's quickly becoming the ally of the Bucks and the enemy of the Redskins.
Well, they've got to get a score on this and get one real quick if they want to try and get back into this game.
It'll bring up 2nd and short, 2nd down and 2.
Almost on every down, Ron Barr is blitzing, and Morris is picking it up pretty well.
Again, a full house backfield with Overton going in motion. Schaefer with time, going it long, overthrowing. Is it intercepted? No, juggling it at the 13-yard line was Justin Ferry. Tried to make a shoestring catch. Almost came up with a diving interception, but it's an incomplete pass, and 3rd and 2 coming up for Morris.
And the backfield judge was right there to be able to make that call, right in position. And that's what a good officiating crew does. They're right on the spot, be able to make that call.
And Joe, what do you got down on the sidelines?
Well, you may remember the gray-haired Silver Fox, the head coach at Bolingbrook High School. No, I'm not talking about me. Phil Acton, you played Belvidere last year. How does this team compare to the one that you lost to 7-0 in the 5A championship game to the one that's dominated here in the 4A game?
Well, I think they have a more diversified offense this year than they did last year. They're using that slot back, and they're throwing the ball a little bit more. Other than that, extreme discipline, especially on defense, and a lot of hustle and enthusiasm in getting to the ball, and that's really something I don't think that Morris has had to contend with. I think maybe last year they were a little bit better offensively in discipline. They've made a lot of mistakes offensively this year that they didn't make last year. But it's a pretty exciting ball club to watch.
It certainly is, and their defense is showing it here. And now I understand you got some great underclassmen, so we hope to see you back again, maybe next year as well. Back upstairs, fellas, to this great football game.
Steve Matzel recovering a fumble for Belvidere, and Belvidere has it at the 36-yard line, 1st and 10. Off the option, this is Latino as he breaks a tackle and pops out to the 41-yard line and picks up 5, and it looked like he was corralled to about a 2-yard gain. And I talked with Vern Pottinger about it. I said, you know, you drop down a class. He says, make no mistake, the games we've had in the 4A playoffs have been just as tough, if not tougher, than the games they had last year in 5A.
You know, when you get at this level, anybody you play is going to be difficult. And when you get to the playoffs, it doesn't make a difference what level you're at.
Creighton gets the handoff, has the first down. He fumbles the football, and Morris gets it back at the 48-yard line.
Now, that was a fumble, not from carelessness, but trying to make an extra yard, and John Overton came in and recovered that football. And, of course, anytime it's on the turf, that ball bounces up, and you'll get the opportunity to see Jim Creighton trying to make an extra yard, working hard, using his arm, and there's the ball coming out, and John Overton comes in and makes the recovery on the fumble. And as you pointed out, Tom, John Overton plays both ways, which might be one of the reasons why he hasn't been able to catch the ball, because he's had to concentrate so much on the option offense of the Bucks.
We had a turnover-free football game. Suddenly now, a pair of turnovers separated by only 3 plays. 43 seconds left to go. That ate up some valuable time, losing the football when Matzel recovered at the 36 of Belvidere, and then 2 plays later, Belvidere coughed it back to the Redskins. So 1st and 10 at the 48 of Belvidere.
Let's see if the Morris Redskins can take advantage of this.
Schaefer fakes once, goes deep down the sidelines. It is incomplete, caught by Olsen, but when he came down, his right knee was across the sidelines, and he was out of bounds.
That was a good call, and we'll see it on the replay. The official was right there. I don't know if we'll see him right in the picture.
Watch him go down. Watch his right knee. Actually, his right foot's already out of bounds as he makes the possession.
And he knew he was out of bounds because he tried to get that leg back in. There's a different angle. He's definitely out of bounds. Good call.
So it's 2nd and 10 at the 48. 29 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. Quinn Schaefer, the toss. Now the handoff on the reverse to Mike Olsen. He turns the corner around Barr. And he is to the 41-yard line. Yule Berg stayed home and made the play, but they pick up about 4 or 5 yards on that fancy little razzle-dazzle.
Just a little reverse. You had all power backs to one side. You made the flow go to the right side, and then he came back, and just a misdirection play.
Is that a statement of frustration, perhaps, from Morris pulling out a play like that at this stage?
I was going to say it might be that they're trying to pull everything out that they can possibly use to try and get back. They need to score badly, Tom, if they want to get back in this game.
1 quarter left. Will Belvidere hold on to its 20-point lead, or will Morris mount a comeback? Stay with us on Sports Channel. Welcome back. The 4th quarter coming up from Hancock Stadium. Morris in the title game for the 5th time in their school's history. Belvidere, 3rd time they've been here to the show. It is 3rd and 5 for Morris from the 43-yard line in Belvidere territory. Overton in motion out of the wingback. Schaefer rolls out to buy some time. He's got a man open. Zweers, yes, wide open, makes the catch. Out at the 30-yard line, Rafael Avila makes the stop.
And the Belvidere Bucks on defense are blitzing almost every down, trying to be able to pick up Quinn Schaefer. Here's Ron Barr coming through. He gets picked up well. The linemen pick up the blitz. Schaefer moves him down very smartly, moves him down into the area that he could make the catch, and lays it right in there.
Time of possession so far in this game, Belvidere 21.5 minutes, Morris 13 minutes. That's 52 plays now so far for Belvidere, 30 plays for the Redskins of Morris. Quick slant and patted over and hit hard by Barr, who jarred the ball loose. It's incomplete. And Overton a little slow after getting up, taking a solid hit from Ron Barr, who adds another solid blast to his great night tonight.
Just a little look-in pass, and there's Ron Barr. Boy, he put his hat right on the football, knocked it out. He's all over the field defensively, and he's also the inspiration leader on defense. He's always getting after people, getting them up, and then, of course, he makes the plays.
It'll be 2nd and 10 from the 28-yard line. Joe Swears flanks out wide to the right side. Overton goes in motion. Schaefer with not much time, underthrows over the middle, looking for Jeff Hunt, who was well covered. Darren Wiebe was right on top of him in good, solid coverage.
Good linebacking coverage, and they didn't blitz on that. They laid off a little bit, played pass.
Now, the fewest points scored this year by a Morris team. They were held to 7 points in their only loss this year, a 12-7 loss on October the 7th to Manuka. So Schaefer with a big 3rd down and 10 here. They put OCL Rivera, number 54, in the backfield. Schaefer out of the shotgun. He throws, underthrows. Yulberg came close to the interception as the ball thrown behind Mike Olson, number 15.
Well, they went out of the shotgun, which they used earlier in the football game, and they had a triples formation to the right. And, of course, Buccaneers reacted pretty well to it, got after it, and they did not blitz again. So they're certainly getting the right kind of defensive calls when Morris is in a situation where they're trying to take advantage of a mismatch.
Morris has to have this first down. If they don't, there may not be enough time. Down by 20. Schaefer running for his life. Breaks away from Barr, and the pass incomplete. It skips in to Overton, who tried to make the catch at the 14-yard line, and the Bucks take it over on downs.
Well, the defensive call was a good one because they sent everybody. They were blitzing him, and they ran Schaefer right out. You see a good example. Barr is coming from the left-hand side, tries to make a shoestring tackle, which really threw Schaefer off having to throw the football. And there's a good angle where you can see it, and it's a skipper.
Because, indeed, Overton was open, but Schaefer couldn't get much on that football at all.
Well, the thing was, Barr got a little bit of his foot, and he couldn't get the push to throw the football.
So the Bucks have 28. Real hands off to the fullback, Creighton. And you're going to see very basic, conservative football here from the Bucks. Why not? It's worked well all night long. As that Wishbone with the option.
Well, you certainly want to be able to take and run the ball down a little bit and run that clock down. And you started off your offensive series with Jim Creighton. What else is new?
They like to get a couple of first downs at least on this drive. As Creighton again gets the call, not much. Runs right into the linebacker, Mark Clemens, a 5'11 junior.
Now the question is, with 3rd down and a little bit more yardage than you'd like, do you run the pitch? Do you dare pitch? Or do you take and hug the ground?
Here's the toughest call to make when you're running a Wishbone. 3rd and 6. Especially when you're not normally a passing ball club. But they have passed well when they've had to. Here is Real. He's going to put it up again. Oh, knocked down by the end, Wes Shannon. But a penalty marker thrown on the play. And it's going to be, looks like, roughing the passer against Morris. Another costly penalty when it looked like they were about to get the football back.
That's a big help because now they got the first down and they give themselves a little breathing room. We'll get a chance to see it on the replay.
After the pass, now watch. Broken up and
came from behind.
Looked like it was Danny Darlington, the coach's nephew.
Came from behind.
Named for the coach.
Defense, 15-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
Oh, a crucial 15-yard penalty. And who knows, in the long run, could be proved to be as costly as that roughing the kicker was back in the first half, which really right now is the call of the game.
Absolutely, because that gave them the 2nd touchdown, which really didn't put the game out of reach, but certainly made Morris change their offensive point of view as to what they had to do to try and beat the Bucks.
This is Aaron Latino, the 5'10 senior, tries to pick his way. Gets it just across the 50-yard line.
You're starting to witness Morris getting up a little slower, not having that spring in their legs, knowing that They've got to stop them here if they have any hope of a possibility of getting back into the football game. And of course, with 9 minutes, in the way the Bucks hug the ball, I don't know, Tom.
2nd and 8 from the 50. Real gives to Creighton, who's been a busy fullback all night long. He's up to the 46-yard line. You know, this team is averaging 300 yards a game in total offense, which keeps in the great tradition of Belvidere offensive ball clubs. They've had 2 of the top 21 single offense seasons in IHSA history, all classes. In fact, I believe their 88 season was the 2nd best ever in Illinois history. 5,722 yards that year. Patino getting outside. Oh, was collared. Saving a touchdown was Kane Connor. But a big gain and a first down for the Bucks of Belvidere.
He's really got quick feet. He hits up in that line real quick and gets out in the secondary before you know he's there. And perhaps we'll see it on the replay right here. Here's a fake to the fullback. He gives it to the outside. You get to see those quick feet, but certainly you get fooled when you're watching that fullback all the time.
As a defender, I'd be seeing that in my nightmares for years to come. Multiple option. Rio knocked off his feet, trying to keep it around the right side. Knocked down back at the 33 for a loss of a yard on the play. But this is a game of split-second reaction, and you've got to make a split-second decision as a linebacker, as a lineman. Is the ball going to stay in the gut of the fullback? Is he going to pull it out? Is he going to pitch it to the trailing man?
Well, and that's why you have assigned people on the option. You have to tackle them every time.
That's Creighton. He's going to go for his 3rd touchdown of the night. Jim Creighton, 34 yards, and that should put it away.
Well, Jim Creighton, it just lulled him to sleep. He's just taking it 2-3 yards on this particular drive, and then boom, he breaks one.
It comes with 8:02 left to go in the 4th quarter. Nothing fancy.
Nope.
Great execution.
Right off the guard, and he saw a little crack, and then he turned it on. I'll tell you what, he was a defensive tackle. He runs pretty good.
Credit Brad Love, the left guard, with a big trap block that got that lane open for Creighton just to pop right up the middle and take it 34 yards. And you're seeing something that doesn't happen very often. A Morris team coached by Dan Darlington and Denny Steele, their defensive coordinator, getting manhandled like this.
Now they're going to go for 2, Tom.
A testimony to the kind of game the Bucks have had tonight. Real has him set. Real keeping after the fake. He dives in for 2.
Now, they've done that quite often this year, and when they missed the extra point, you knew that they were going to go for 2 to even up that score.
So with 8:02 left to go in the 4th quarter, it is a commanding 28-0 lead for the Bucks of Belvidere. As our coverage continues exclusively on Sports Channel. Tom Stocker, Bill Gorley back with you here at Hancock Stadium as Belvidere will kick it off, leading 28-0. This will be Steve Matzel kicking, a bouncing ball. Fumbled, the ball is free, and I think Belvidere's the 43-yard line, the Bucks recover. And it's been that kind of a night for Belvidere and that kind of a night for the Redskins.
It was kicked back to the Buccaneers, and then of course you had the Fumblerooski, and then it was picked up by Belvidere. And after they get out of the pile, we'll see who has that football.
Just fall on the football, you try to pick it up. It is who else? Ron Barr. What a game he has had tonight.
Well, there's the fumble. He kicks the ball back into the Buccaneers. Then one person, then 2, and then Ron Barr falls on it and recovers the ball. How much more appropriate could you be? You got the workhorse, Jim Creighton, breaks away for a 34-yard run. Then you come back and you've got Ron Barr, who's been a stalwart on defense, making a big play.
You couldn't have scripted it any better if you were a Buck fan from Belvidere. They're leading 28-0, and right now 7.5 minutes remain between them and their 2nd consecutive state title. To the 39-yard line, Jim Creighton. Who else? Creighton, by the way, before that carry, 24 carries, 134 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
he's certainly having.
He'll sleep good tonight.
Yeah, he will. I don't know if he'll be able to party as much because he's going to be a tired young guy.
The broadcast rights to today's game have been granted to Sports Channel by the Illinois High School Association. Any reproduction or rebroadcast of this event without the express written consent of the IHSA and Sports Channel is strictly prohibited. Keith Romine now in the backfield for Creighton. And that is Latino who gets the call, runs right into the linebacker, Clemens, who stops him after a gain of maybe a couple of yards.
Jim Creighton was taken out of the game. He took himself out. It looked like he might have an equipment problem, and then, of course, they brought in a different fullback.
Yeah, he had one flat down there coming off the field. It'll be 3rd and 5, and penalty markers have been thrown. Let's sort this one out. Not too much time, no.
Right. Keith Romine is still in the game at fullback, Tom.
Chuck Esposito.
Dead ball, sideline interference by Morris. That's a 5-yard penalty.
Wow. Called on the bench across the way. That probably will be chalked up to Dan Darlington.
Or someone else on the sideline. Sometimes you don't always have control of that sideline. Somebody else might be saying something that they should.
5-yard penalty. Remember that last scoring drive was aided, but by what might be considered by many to be a very questionable roughing the passer call.
I'm sure that they'll have a little discussion there, and there's a little jawing on the sideline.
So that leads, so that leads to working the officials across the way. Jim Creighton, by the way, back into the game for the Bucks. He's back there with Latino and Ryan Morris. 1st and 10 from the 33 for the Bucks. This is Latino, great blocking to the 29-yard line. Tackled by Rob Detman.
Again, on the option, fake to the fullback, second man through. The fullback tried and picked up the linebacker and be able to break Latino out after the second man through.
This is the way this offense has gone, just exactly the way you put it on the chalkboard.
Well,
their execution.
They knew where Morris would be defensively. And, you know, we talk about the penalties, and there might be a record set for the number of penalties, but really it was created by Morris moving around on defense and the offensive lineman not being able to react.
That is Creighton diving off the left side to about the 25-yard line. But listen to some of the credentials that Morris's defense had coming into this game. They held Thornton Fractional South to 21 yards rushing in the second half in the semifinals. They sacked Bishop McNamara quarterback Ryan Spielman 7 times in the quarterfinals. They held Westinghouse to 67 total yards. So that is a testimony to the effectiveness of the Bucks offense tonight.
Well, but the big thing is none of them ran the option. And this was a totally new thing that you had to get ready for. And there's no way that your practice team is going to be able to run the option the way this football team of Belvidere does.
3rd and about 2. Latino going airborne over the middle and has the first down at the 21-yard line. Air Latino right there. Small, quick, and durable, has a 3.4 grade point average, also a state track qualifier in the hurdles. And he hurdled right over the top there.
You have to like his spring. He really has a real jump to the ball, and I really enjoy watching him run. He's got more spring than I thought, and has done a really nice job. And of course, you can't say enough about number 35, Jim Creighton.
Belvidere, who was the second smallest school in 5A last year, the second largest school in 4A this year. That is Creighton just churning and driving and breaking tackles to the 14-yard line. Just so very tough to bring him down. Under 4 minutes now for the fourth quarter, 28-0. The Bucks are cruising.
Their counterparts in Tampa would like to be able to play this well. Maybe they ought to run the option. It might help them.
Sam Blanchard probably try anything. And pretty much has. Creighton and Latino in the backfield, and there's contact. Jumping across was the defensive tackle, Josh Stapleton. He says, though, I saw some movement from somebody in the offensive line, so all the finger pointing, and it's going to go against the Bucks.
Maybe after his playing days, he can become official because he knew that call.
It really, the incident involving the referee and the suicide attempt really has brought to light the pressure that the men in black and white are brought under for the absolutely ridiculous low pay. They do it for the love of the game. And they're human. They make mistakes. Players make mistakes. They all make mistakes. That is now a 4A record for penalties with that flag right there. That is Latino breaking a couple of tackles and getting it back to the 13-yard line, setting up a 4th down.
And that's a classic run by Aaron Latino. As I said earlier in the game, the first 4 times he handled the ball, he made great plays. He made the plays that you had to have in order to be able to keep the drives alive. And, of course, he scores the first touchdown on a tremendous catch.
There you see the time remaining in the score. Belvidere in a commanding 28-0 lead. They bring Brian Kelly now in to replace Ryan Morris at a halfback, and Creighton comes out. He is replaced by Romine, and also coming out the left tackle, Matt Schultz. And Creighton receiving a hero's welcome. Over 140 yards, 3 touchdowns, early motion in the offensive line by Craig Evans. That stops the clock with 2 minutes and 26 seconds left.
That's another penalty, so and that's on the Belvidere team again. Once again, movement.
False start by the offense. 3rd down.
What's the record? 15 now? Is that the 15th? That is the 14th penalty. The 14 was the record. They've now got 16, I believe. And I think that's 1 shy. Oh, the overall record is 14. There we go. The 4A record. We go through a lot of hand signals up here, folks, and finally they just wrote it down for me.
It's those glasses time. We've got to get you over to that eye doctor.
2:26 left to go, 4th quarter. The Bucks, who led at halftime 14-0, adding 2 more scores here in the second half. Morris showing blitz. And the fullback gets the carry. Keith Romine, a 5'9", 156-pound junior, number 45.
A little motion away, and then they came back with the new fullback, Romine, and I think they're just going to be able to try and run this clock out, maybe try and get another 1st down and go from there.
Well, Morris has been involved in some classic games, so is Belvidere for that matter here. This one, though, is coming to a very anticlimactic finish as Belvidere has just put it all together with an offense executed to perfection. An opportunistic defense. They get the pitch back to Latino, and he's down to the 12-yard line. Boy, did Real take a shot from the defensive end, Wes Shannon, and let's go down to the sidelines and Joe Passion.
We have heard already before and during this broadcast about Dan Darlington, the Morris head coach, after so many years of great success building that program, the possibility he may step down, that this may be his last game as head football coach. If you didn't know, you can know it now. I was talking to his wife, Brenda, in the grandstands on the opposite side of the field. Brenda was telling me that that decision is simply being put on the back burner, that he will make that decision at some point after the season is over. He didn't want to get away in the part of this season. He has several things he has to contend with. John and Mike, his 2 sons, are playing at Indiana State and Iowa, respectfully. He'd like to see them play some college ball. He'd also like to put more work into his athletic director's role and teaching PE and driver's ed. He'd also like to maybe hand off the reins as head coach to Morris as they move into a new conference affiliation division spread. So a lot of big decisions for Dan Darlington following this game. One of them will probably be erasing the memory of this game. Back upstairs, fellas.
Joe, a 21-year career for Dan Darlington, 19 of them at his alma mater, Morris, where he's teamed up with a lot of his old teammates, like defensive coordinator Denny Steele. File the record 176 wins alone over at Morris. The ball goes over to Morris on downs. 1:36 left to go in the 4th quarter. That is Searman in motion. Juggling catch, flea flicker, and the ball is loose, and it's recovered by Belvidere at the 15-yard line. They're trying to flicker it out there. The lateral to Searman after the catch by Zweers, and the ball thrown behind him. Brian Jensen, number 15, on the recovery for the Bucks.
There's the replay, there's the pass, and of course you try to, and he threw behind him. That's where the fumble occurred. Threw behind him, and that's a difficult pass to time up, and obviously was not. So Belvidere gets the ball in unbelievable field position.
And that kind of put it in a nutshell for Zierman. He really wasn't the same. Once he got injured, it looked like maybe twisting a knee one of the first times he carried the football, and really wasn't a factor in this game.
No, he didn't have that zip. The first couple times he carried the ball, boy, he really had fresh legs, and after that it wasn't there.
So from the 14, Belvidere with Keith Romine, the fullback, getting the carry with 50 seconds left to go. And it is going to be back-to-back titles for the Bucks.
You know, I'd like to ask Vern Pottinger in his wildest dreams if he thought that he could beat this football team 28-0.
This, ironically, would be the first shutout win of the year for the Bucks. And it would come in the state title game. And obviously, Morris getting here had not been shut out at all in any game this season. The one loss, they scored 7. Keeping it is the quarterback. That is the coach's son, Brett Pottinger, number 13. Not superstitious. That's going to be it.
That's it. He took his headphones off, and he knew that was it.
Vern Pottinger about to chalk up state title number 2. In an 18-year career at Belvidere, it's all over, and the Bucks will take home the 4A title with a 28-0 victory here at Hancock Stadium. And we'll be back for the presentation of the trophies after we take this time out. Belvidere, the new 4A state champs in Illinois. Welcome back to Hancock Stadium. Tom Stalker, Bill Gorley with you. 28-0, a convincing one-sided win for the Bucks of Belvidere, who now will bring home a Class 4A state championship trophy to be company to the 5A trophy they brought home just a year ago.
Morris on the stand. Here is the awards ceremony. A special medallion is being presented to Mr. Eaton, and the individual awards are being presented to Coach Darlington and his team captains by Mr. Collins, who serves the IHSA as a member of the board. And now for the trophy presentation. The second place trophy will be presented to the Redskins of Morris High School, who finished the season in second place with a final record of 12 wins and 2 losses. Presenting that trophy is Mr. Collins. And congratulations to Morris's Redskins, this year's second place finisher in Class 4A. Also an autographed Wilson football is presented to Morris from Wilson Sporting Goods Company. And next will Principal David Thake, Coach Vern Pottinger, and the captains of state champion Belvidere. Please join the presenters on the awards platform. Ladies and gentlemen, a special medallion is presented to Principal Thake, and the individual awards will be presented to Coach Pottinger and his team captains by Mr. Wright, who serves the Illinois High School Association as a member of the board. And now this year's state championship Class 4A team trophy is presented to the Bucks of Belvidere High School, who finished the season with a final record of 12 wins and 2 losses. Presenting that championship trophy is Mr. Wright. Congratulations to Belvidere's Bucks, this year's state champion in Class 4A.
Also presented to the Bucks, autographed football courtesy of Wilson Sporting Goods. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the awards presentation.
And we'll be back to visit with Coach Vern Pottinger after we take this time out. The Bucks crown the 4A champs here at Hancock Stadium. Belvidere back-to-back champions this year in Class 4A, and the victorious Coach Vern Pottinger's out on the sidelines with our Joe Passion.
All right, Tom, and very happy he is. Vern, congratulations. Back-to-back state titles, but on a rather unusual note, Class 5A last year, Class 4A this year. Had you ever given any thought that this team could come back and be at Hancock Stadium for the last game of the season?
Well, I thought it would be very far-fetched. You know, we had a lot of things we had to overcome this year, and kids just deserve a tremendous amount of credit. And they saved their best game for the last one, too.
It's interesting, too, that you were seeded 6th in your bracket coming in, and yet last year you were ranked 6th coming in. It didn't. Those things don't mean a difference to a Belvidere Buccaneer team, does it?
No, and I said at the beginning of this year, I said, I don't care if we're ever ranked at the start of the year. It's where you finish that counts.
You've always seemed to like those underdogs. You told us that last year as you came in here against Bolingbrook and outdid them 7-0. Another shutout in the championship game. A lot said for your defense.
Yeah, our defensive staff and our players really deserve a lot of credit. I don't know how you win 2 championships with shutouts. That's just unbelievable.
Ironically enough, too, against 2 great offensive machines. Last year, Bolingbrook, and this year, in your wildest dreams, would you ever have thought of beating beating Morris 28-0?
No, absolutely not. I thought it would be like a 1-point or a 2-point game or something like that. And I thought maybe we could slow them down but not stop them. And I figured it might be 2-3 touchdowns, you know. But I thought it'd be a very close ball game.
Barr again was a big key on defense. How valuable has he been to this team as a whole?
Well, he's the whole glue to it. He's our captain. He's the guy that gets us up and gets us going. He makes the big hits that gets everybody started, and he is the real glue to the defense.
Congratulations, Coach, to you and Belvidere and all the great fans you've got here at Hancock Stadium. A great win.
Thank you very much.
All right. Vern Pottinger and his Belvidere Buccaneers, once again a state champion this year in Class 4A with their 28-0 victory tonight over the Morris Redskins of Dan Darlington. A couple other quick notes. I talked to Dan Darlington a moment ago on a follow-up. Yes, he will make a decision very soon on whether or not he steps down as head coach at Morris High School, and he said no, the outcome of this game is not and will not be a factor in that decision-making process. And one other thing, he couldn't remember the last time the Redskins had ever been shut out. Back upstairs, fellas.
An impressive victory indeed for the Bucks. Shutouts in consecutive years to win the state championship. Last year in 5A, this year in 4A. A dream ending to a dream season for Belvidere.
You can't ask for anything more when you're getting that kind of a defensive scheme. And of course, the other thing that the offense gets all of the notice, and yet the defense is what really did the job today.
Yeah, Ron Barr, that linebacker, what a great job also offensively. We had Creighton 27 carries, 150 yards, and 3 touchdowns. And that caps off a great day of football here at Hancock Stadium. We remind you that our coverage on Sports Channel will continue tomorrow. The 1994 IHSA Football Championships continue at noon with the 5A Championship. Palatine against New Lenox Providence, and then at 2:30 it'll be the battle for 6A. Naperville North against Homewood Flossmoor. This game was produced and directed by Dave Turner. The graphics coordinator was Doug Stanton. Remote facilities were provided by Trio Video of Chicago. Once again, the 4A champion is Belvidere. For Bill Gorley, I'm Tom Stalker saying goodbye for now. The proceeding has been an exclusive presentation of Sports Channel. Stay tuned now for the Sports Channel Report with Jim Blaney.